say that we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Home Park Medical Services. Once again, my name is Semanu Adoboy. I'm a medical practitioner and caregiver at Home Park Medical Services. Today we are going to be discussing a very important topic, which is the 2 cards that can save your life and why you should never leave home without them. Stay tuned. Now, imagine this. You step out of your home, just another ordinary day. You're on your way to work, dropping off the kids. Everything seems great. You feel fine, you feel strong. You expect to return back home safely. But then, life doesn't always go as we plan. Accidents don't schedule appointments, and emergencies don't wait till you are ready. And in those critical moments where you cannot move, you cannot speak, or you cannot even explain who you are, there are 2 things that would speak for you, which is your ID card, be it your Ghana card or any other form of ID, and then your health insurance card. Now, picture this scene. A crowd gathers, sirens are blaring and approaching. An unconscious man is lying down on the ground. The paramedics arrive, they do everything that they can, and then they have one question that no one around can answer. Who is this person? No name, no age, no medical history, and no way to reach a loved one. Know this, in that moment, your identity and everything that can connect you to help is locked away, simply because you did not have your ID card or your health insurance card on you at that material point in time. Now, this is the power of an ID card. A simple ID card, be it your work ID, Ghana card, or any other form of identity, might look simple and small, but in an emergency, it is the only thing that would speak for you. It tells first responders and emergency team who you are, how old you are, and through that they can get in contact with your relatives and then also get further information like your medical history, things you are allergic to, if you are somebody who takes blood in cases where it's required or not. But in the absence of these information and these details, the emergency team would only take you to the hospital, and the hospital team would also need those further details to be able to deliver the very best and prompt or timely care that they have to. Now, with that single card, your relatives can be contacted, hospitals can move faster and then deliver your care, and critical decisions that need to be made within a certain time frame can be made and your life be saved. Not having an ID card on you can be one great barrier to receiving healthcare or to receiving life-saving care. Why do I say this? Imagine you are rushed to the hospital after an accident. You need urgent care, but the hospital cannot confirm your identity or ability to receive care. Your health insurance or private insurance card removes that barrier immediately. It can tell the hospital, start treatment now, in terms of the cost involved, in terms of further things that may need to be done. Now, all across the world, people have lost time, precious minutes, because no one could confirm their identity and coverage on time. And some people actually never survived for their relatives to arrive in time. And in many cases, the tragedy that happened afterward could have been avoided. One might feel or believe that in an emergency, the person can be taken care of and whatever needs to be done should get done. But in certain areas, in some advanced countries, there are certain individuals who have a do not resuscitate order, which we call a DNR, in which the person has decided and has made peace with the fact that in case of an emergency or in certain healthcare conditions, no one should try to save them, and that they've made peace and they are ready to live for the great beyond without anyone intervening. And this is a legally binding thing. So if you are a caregiver and you don't know and you go and then make any moves in that regard, you can be sued at the end of the day and you find yourself in trouble. Also, there are individuals who, by their religious inclinations, do not receive blood and certain medications and blood products, right? If you do not know this and you find someone by the roadside, you get them to the hospital and start treatment, and it is required that you give blood, and you go and give the person blood, at the end of the day, if the person fully recovers, he can take you on. And honestly, in most cases, there is nothing you can do about it. It is for some of these reasons why it is very important to always have an ID card on you, just to ensure that we are able to reach your relatives and get certain further information that will need to save your life. Mind you, most hospitals and facilities will do the very best they can for the basic initial treatment and things. But understand that hospitals don't always have all the resources they need to attend to you or deliver the care that is required to you. In some cases, they would have to transport you to a different facility outside the hospital, maybe for further imaging, sometimes to do a scan or to do some further tests which the hospital does not provide. And in that situation, your relatives are needed to make that happen. Beyond the monetary aspect also, if the care requires that you need to be referred to a bigger hospital for further care to be delivered, if your relatives are not around, it becomes difficult to refer you to the bigger hospital, because the bigger hospital will not accept you if there is no one with you, especially if you are unconscious, you can't talk, you can't communicate to them, and they don't know what to do or what not to do for you in your medical situation or condition. Think about the people you love, your spouse, your relatives, your siblings. If something happened to you today, how quickly would they know about it? They will probably be at home waiting or even oblivious of the fact that you might need their help, simply because you did not carry an ID card on you when you decided to step out. And in such situations, hospitals label you in the coldest way possible: the unknown female on bed 5 or the unknown male on bed 3, because quite honestly, they wouldn't have any other way of referring to you. In some cases, we end up referring to you as John Doe if you are a man, or Jane Doe if you are a woman. Trust me, you do not want to be labeled a John Doe or a Jane Doe. No disrespect to anyone who is named John or Jane Doe, but that is the reality of the situation. In such situations, if there is the need for further care that would require certain critical decisions to be made, and your relatives are not around, or certain financial resources to be available for further care to be delivered, and your relatives are not around, they might not be able to help you beyond a certain level. In some hospitals, there is this fund where we call the Paupers Fund, or say the Ward Fund, where certain people who come and then are not able to afford their bills can get help or support with that. But that fund is very limited, and there are a lot of people around who might need similar help as you. So at the end of the day, that fund might not be sufficient for the number of people who would require it. That is why it is very important to always have a relative or a nearby contact available that we can always reach in terms of emergencies, and decide on what else to do for you beyond the basics that we have done. Mind you, in an accident situation, the basics that we may have done might not be enough. We might need to take certain further steps and actions, but those are limited because 1, due to financial constraints that the hospital may not be able to afford, or 2, due to certain critical decisions that may need to be made that the hospital or the doctor or caregiver cannot make on your behalf, and it has to come from you, the individual, who in this case cannot talk or respond, or a close relative who can make that decision on your behalf. This is what you must do today. Starting today, make it a rule that you are not going to step out of your house without your ID card or health insurance card. Make it a strong rule. Place it in your wallet, in your purse, or in your phone case, precisely at a place where you would never forget it once you step out. And another thing, add an emergency contact to your phone or to your card holder, as that can be the defining factor between life and then tragedy. Now, in rounding up this conversation, emergencies are unpredictable, but preparation is not. 2 simple cards, 1 powerful habit, a lifetime of protection. Share this information with your friends, family, and colleagues and loved ones, as someone might need it and it might make all the difference in case of an emergency. Stay safe, stay prepared, and see you on the next video.